Asher and Pipeman on W4CY Radio.
Wake up, America! It's time for the adventures of Pipeman on W4CY.com, West Palm Beach's #1 internet radio station. Here's your host, the Pipeman. Wise wings and broken bones, summoning into shadow the sky, go!
This is the Pipeman here on the Adventures of Pipeman W4CY Radio, and I'm here with our next guest who is over on the other side of the pond, so we're in like different parts of the day right now. I always love that. It's like,
yeah,
you know, and they have some badass new music. So let's welcome to the show, Jay. How are you?
Hey, how you doing? Yeah, not too bad. I was going to say, what time is it for you guys over there?
It's 9 o'clock for me.
In the morning, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow, yeah. Nice.
You're automatically the first interview of the day.
Oh, amazing. I hope it's a good one then, yeah.
So I want to start off with the story behind your new project, Bless Your Dead, which is really not necessarily a new project. It's kind of a reinvented project.
Yeah, it's pretty much exactly that. So I met Mitch, I think it was 2024, late 2024. That was when the band originally was When We Were Wolves. They got back together. We're looking for another guitarist. I put myself forward. I met Mitch. We gelled really well together. When we were writing stuff, all of our ideas kind of flowed and connected, and I would write a riff and then he would be like, oh, I can do something with this. So from then on, we did that. We did a few tours, not last year, year before. Amazing. It's kind of my first experience doing a big tour. And so I kind of got a lot out of that and really enjoyed myself. But we realized when we were writing new music, it wasn't hitting the same as what the previous songs were like. It evolved into something else, and with different lineup changes and stuff. So we kind of took a step back and just thought maybe it's time we just rebrand. New name, new sound, new members. We spent the whole of last year just Mitch has got his own kind of makeshift studio, and we've just been in that studio for the last year, just writing, getting everything we can down. Even if we don't use it, we're like, oh, we'll just take bits from here, put it over here, put it in this song, filming music videos, and just making a plan for this year, really.
Nice. And you know what I love about it is when I first saw the promo for your new single, before I decide to do an interview, I will listen to the music, because like I don't get press people that try to do interviews with artists that they don't like the music. Like, I mean, especially in metal. Okay, you have to have passion for the music to promote it. Like, it's not like it's pop, you know. And artists can tell too. Like, if you have a passion for the music. So, I listened to your debut single, "Everyone's a Target," which I feel that's like so appropriate for today. And you know, it was a badass song. Then I read the description in the press release. Like, I listen to this, which is what I do. I don't want to be tainted. I want to just listen to the music and then read the press release. And I'm like, oh, I think I interviewed When We Were Wolves at a festival. and like, what was cool about that is, you know, when you rebrand like you're doing, the main reason you rebrand is because you are kind of going in a different direction, and you don't, not that you do this purposely, but you don't necessarily want people to only ever associate you with your beginnings,
Yeah.
like it's like if Black Sabbath never changed their name from Earth to Black Sabbath, would we have ever known about them? We would have never probably known.
That was something as well. When we were playing shows, we had a lot of the older Wolves fans attend the shows, and they would come up to us being like, "Oh, it'd be really sick if you went and played these old songs." And we were just like, when we have no intentions or plans to play the old stuff.
Right.
We chucked in a couple of old songs for the older fans, but going forward, we kind of wanted to kind of get those out of the set and just play the newer music. And I think that was one of the things that made us kind of realize it's time for something new.
It makes total sense to me. Some people sometimes the old school fans may not like it because that's kind of the way it is, but they'll come back. It's just, when you're young and like kind of gatekeeping kind of,
yeah,
it's like for me when Metallica, I was going to all their first shows ever. So when Metallica came out with the Black Album, me and my friends were like, fuck them posers. We're never listening to them again. They're still one of my favorite bands, but
oh yeah.
It's like, but you have to rebrand sometimes because like you said, like people are going to want to hear the old stuff. And if you are going by the old name, you're kind of obligated to play that old stuff, just like bands that have been around for 40 years or songs they just don't want to play, but they have to, type of thing.
Yeah.
But by rebranding,
it's like what you said with Metallica, like you're going to hear Enter Sandman. Like as much as people don't like the big like core fans are kind of fed up of people saying it's the best Metallica song. Metallica will play that song live. Like
they have to.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, they have to. Yeah.
Like me, I'd rather them like slip in something like Metal Militia and take that out.
Yeah. They played 2 days at Download Festival a couple of years ago.
I was there covering that.
And I remember they played Orion, and I was like, oh my God, I never thought I would ever hear them play this. I was so happy with like the split sets because I was like, I've just heard a bunch of Metallica. I mean, I've always wanted to hear live, and then I've got all the songs I've heard them play like before. But I was like, I'm fine with this. This is great.
That is what's cool about the 2-day thing that they've been doing that for several years now, because it's almost like each day is themed to a certain Metallica, with others sprinkled in, not 100%, but like kind of like one day is for the old schoolers and the other day is kind of for the new schoolers, type of thing.
And that's complete. That's great. Like,
did you hear what happened at Download that year? Okay, so check this out.
Was it with the traffic and the
noise? Okay,
the noise, that was what I was just about to say. Apparently it was just so loud everyone could hear it from like miles and miles and miles out.
There were complaints like 15 miles away. Like, see,
that's great.
The old school metalhead like me, I'm like, that's fucking cool, man.
Cool.
Like, and like, there were people 15 miles away that could hear it as if they were there, because basically Metallica designed this sound system where no matter where you are at a music festival, you feel like you're at the front as far as sound goes. Yeah,
it was great. It was incredible. Like,
I think
if I didn't have Metallica, I would not be doing this. Like,
see that, and probably me neither. We would neither be. Neither of us would be here.
Like I owe a lot to that band.
And that's what's cool because, you know, I look at metal today and it definitely has evolved. And, you know, it's like, it's interesting because you take bands like Metallica and their inspirations, a lot of them aren't even metal, you know, because there was no such thing, you know, just like when I was a kid, you know, I was stealing my brother's albums. He was 11 years older than me. And there was stuff like the Rascals and the Association, you know, because there wasn't like I think about it now too. I'm like, man, Helter Skelter definitely was a heavy metal song. You know?
Yeah, like I was reading Ozzy's first book and he was talking about his influences and stuff. And I just thought, wow, yeah, like the Beatles would be your influence because
right,
there was no metal before you. Like, so hearing what other, like a lot of the older bands' main influences were, it was it is interesting compared to like nowadays. Yeah.
Like, could you imagine having stuff like your music now back in the 60s? I think people would have lost their mind.
Yeah, we'd be literally people running at us and with like pitchforks and Satan worshippers and stuff. Yeah.
Totally. So, but like, you know, they like to say that metal died. I go to these festivals like Download and Hellfest and all the DWP festivals here in the States. And I'm like, yeah, no, I don't think so. It's bigger and better than ever. And it's because of bands like Metallica that created something new.
Yeah.
You know, you wouldn't have thought of playing music like it is today in metal back then because, you know, it just wouldn't have made sense in your head, even though it did, you know?
Yeah.
Like you even take, I was just watching something recently, and Henry Rollins was talking about why he stopped doing music. And his thing was like, basically, once I couldn't write songs anymore, I'm not going to just play and be like a legacy band or my own tribute band. Like he's like, it's cool if other bands do that. Like they go and, you know, they just play their, you know, their hits. He's like, that's just not me. I got to play new music. So that brings us right back around to what you guys are feeling. You have new music. You want to play that new music. That's what you want representing you. And I got to tell you, it's freaking badass.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we are really, really proud with how this has gone down, really. It's like we really wanted a song to come out and just really like just kind of like hit you in the face. And with the first line of the song is "I'm coming out swinging."
Nice.
That's what we really wanted to do. It's just kind of be like, this is us. This is our sound.
And what would you say as the artist is the difference between your sound now and the sound before?
I'd say now we're a little bit more we just trying to think of the word for this. Actually, it's kind of hard to like talk about your own music and like
right
from a mass. Because we were new, we just there was nothing tied to us, so we could really just throw out this is our sound. It's a real blend of heavy down-tuned music with a nice strong modern take, because a lot of our influences, it's kind of old. We do have a lot of old school influences. Like I'm a big Lamb of God guy, so I'll try and get in those really twiddly fiddly stuff. Our other guitarist Jack, he's real into his death metal, so the whole song has like a blend of genres.
See, I love that about nowadays.
Yeah, because there's a certain melody in "Everyone Is a Target," which has that death metal take to it. Where I'm like a real like metalcore guy. Like my 5/7/8 riffs, that's my kind of favorite thing to play. We all just kind of blend it all into one kind of genre, and that is kind of what we kind of birthed, really.
Nice.
Yeah, it's good.
See, I love that today though, because like, you know, back in the 80s, you know, you were either this or you were that, and you couldn't like both, you know, type of thing. You know,
that's why like we always have, when we write music, is we write a verse that is so heavy, and then we'll come into the chorus with something like beautifully melodic. Like I'm a big Killswitch Engage fan, me and Mitch. So we really lean in on those melodic choruses. And he'll write this gorgeous vocal melody, and I'll try and complement that with a really nice kind of fiddly lead line over the chorus. And we seem to, me and Mitch, have like a nice like routine of, we know the chorus is going to be really good. Like
nice.
we'll get the chorus will always like have that real anthemic kind of sound that we want everyone to sing along to.
And that you know what? That is what makes great music. Even it doesn't matter how heavy you are, there has to be something that gets you like where it's stuck in your head.
Yeah.
And that's the point. And you know, the blending of genres, to me, I love that today also, because I find that a lot of bands, especially like in metalcore, use like this formula. Like there's a formula for making metal music. And you go back to the days of Metallica's beginning and the big four, they were thrash metal, but nobody set out to be thrash metal. So they didn't really sound the same, you know, but now it's like you have these bands, if they're all on the same page, they all sound the same, you know, whereas if you bring in other influences, that's what makes you stand out and be unique and create the new music. You know, like you take a band like Slayer, 2 of the band members were metalheads, 2 were punkers, and that's how you created the crossover scene. Before that, you know, like I loved punk. I couldn't go to punk shows. I would have gotten my ass beat because I was a long hair. You know?
Yeah. It's the same with like metal now. Like you've got like the hardcore scene where I've gone to some of those shows and I'm just like, I'm going to stand at the back because I feel safe at the back. We just love blending just all of these different genres. Like I like to write like a nice dirty mean breakdown in the song. So I kind of when we're writing, we'll all throw our ideas together and I'm just like, let's just try this a second, and we'll all look at each other and be like, yeah, that's it.
And that's the way it should be too, because like, okay, so I used to play guitar, I sucked, but you know, in the beginning my dad used to say to me, he'd hear me, he's like, oh, you should give that up, you suck. And what I was really just doing was I wasn't playing anything, I was just experimenting. I wanted to see what sounds I could make. And I think that's part of being an artist, is like experimenting, because otherwise you're just regurgitating what everybody else has already done. So you gotta try to do things differently. Again, going back to the Sabbath model, would we have metal today had Tony Iommi not had to change the way he played because of his accident? You know?
Yeah.
Like
I think
it never happened.
One of the bands that do it beautifully is Bring Me the Horizon. They're
they're in my top 5, by the way.
Yeah. I think if you're a modern musician now and you're in a band and you've just started, I think everyone would probably say Bring Me the Horizon are kind of one of their main influences. Like every album, they just smash it. I just they're so smart at what they do. And
Well,
like,
I thought of them with your story because basically they didn't rebrand, but they rebranded how they were playing music, and
yeah.
people got pissed off. And
But
Ollie
look at
said
them.
in an interview, yeah, Ollie said in an interview though, he's like, why do I want to play and write the same song over and over again? And like that's so insightful of what how an artist would feel.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah,
you have
no,
to grow.
like just every album they've released is just it's something different, but it's incredible.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'd love to just go into the mind of that band and just be like, how do you do this? What are you
Right?
doing?
And
Yeah,
and
just
you
want to be
know,
a fly on the wall in the studio, just be like, just gonna just take notes a second.
and I consider myself lucky because I came in late to the game for Bring Me to Horizon. Okay. So, you know, because I do coverage at music festivals all over the US, UK, and Europe. And I remember they were playing a festival one year. I think it was like 15 years ago. It was right when That's the Spirit came out. Okay. So I had never heard their stuff before, weirdly enough. And because of that, I feel like I love all their music and all their transformations. Whereas if I had originally just been one of those original deathcore fans of Bring Me, I would maybe I would think the same way as they do. Like, but you know, as an artist, you have to grow, you have to change, you have to, you know, as you're getting better, you know, when you start off a lot of times with a band when you're a teenager, you don't really know what you're doing. And so you learn the craft and you want to get better and expand. You don't want to stay a teenager learning how to play your instrument.
Yeah. Yeah, I just make weird noises, if I'm honest.
I love it.
I like these really like dissonant notes and like how can I make something sound really horrible and just like unattractive?
I love it.
So we do experiment quite a lot with some weird sounds and stuff.
Yeah. So, you know, it's funny because that goes back to what I was saying when my dad was saying that I suck and all. But see, to me, that's part of what I was talking about. Being an artist, you want to just do whatever the fuck you want to see what you can come up with.
Yeah.
You know, and
just make
it's
it
about
up.
what
That's
you
what we
like.
do.
It's about what you like. If you make the music you like, you'll get your people that like your music. You know, if you try to fake it, you won't get anybody. You can't appease other people. Appease yourself, and then you'll gather your tribe for sure.
Yeah.
So what's next for 2026 for you guys?
New music, lots of new music. We're playing our first show in April, Noizzefest.
Yeah, I saw that. I have to check that out.
Yeah, it's run by an incredible bunch of people. It's just full of fantastic talent as well. So we are really humbled to be on the bill. As considering we didn't actually have a song out when they announced us for the festival. We'd started dropping the teasers for the track when we were getting like announced for the festival. So we're really hoping that when we play, people would have heard the track and wanted to check us out, like hear some more stuff about us.
Nice.
So yeah, it's exciting. We've got a few other bits lined up.
We need to get you at blood. We need to get you at Bloodstock.
I'd love to play Bloodstock. Yeah, I'd love to play Bloodstock.
Your band would fit perfectly there too.
Yeah, it's a strong lineup this year. Yeah, it's we got a lot of stuff planned. It's pretty exciting. We spent the whole of last year planning for this year. So now everything's in like right, all gears, go. Let's like
nice.
do this. So yeah, what's great about us as well is we've all got our own areas of work that we like to do in the band. So I'm off sorting out like potential merchandise and stuff like that, making sure everything's like up to date. So everything is coming, and with the reception we've had on this first single, it's really like made all of us really like, okay, yeah, let's do this now. Let's really put everything into it. We do.
I love it.
Yeah.
Tell everybody how they can reach out to you guys on socials, check out the new music, and speaking of merch, how they can buy your merch, because they can't listen to my show unless they buy your merch.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, so we are on all streaming platforms, so like Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon. It's just Bless Your Dead. Again, with all the socials, it's Bless Your Dead on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, because yeah, we're cool. We do TikTok.
Do you have an embarrassing TikTok, one that you're embarrassed about? Like I find most people do, so you're due if you don't have one.
Mitch did make an incredible TikTok on his personal account of him buttering his crumpet. And I think that sparked a few weird ideas for him to implement on the band TikTok.
Well, there you go. That's everybody's got to follow you on TikTok to look forward to those.
I'm sure we'll do a funny dance video at some point. So everyone loves those.
right.
But yeah, we've got some really exciting stuff coming up. Yeah, we like the next couple of songs. Really, like if you liked this one, you'll love the next couple of tracks.
Nice. Well,
yeah.
I bet I will then, because I did love this one, and I think everybody else will too. Do you have any final words you want to say to people that we haven't covered already?
If you do love the track, like share it, like send it to your friends, post it online. Just let us know that you like it, because the messages we have been getting in the comments on the posts, we do appreciate every word that has been said, because we've put so much passion and love into this. It's nice to see like the hard work we have put in is kind of being paid off for the love we've been getting on the track.
Love it. Well, I hope to see a lot more love for you in the future, and thanks for being on the Adventures of Pipeman.
No, thank you very much for this. It's been great.
Incarceration, America's rock, metal, and tattoo festival returns this summer with Limp Bizkit, Disturbed, Bad Omens, plus Gojira, Papa Roach, A Day to Remember, Motionless in White, Ice Nine Kills, Cypress Hill, The Used, and so many more. Incarceration at the Ohio State Reformatory, July 17th to 19th. Passes on sale now at incarceration.com.
This is the Pipeman here on the Adventures Pipeman W4CY Radio, and I'm here with our next guest that has some badass music, and so let's welcome to the show, Horror Scene.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Hey, great to have you. And so what I love about your music is not only the appearance-wise, I do love, like, you know, people that go way above the Call of Duty when it comes to creativity. Anybody can just get up there and just play and stand still, but it takes a whole nother level to give a performance, because that's what a live show is, a performance. For sure.
Absolutely.
You know, but I also love even more that your music, I talk about this all the time too, it blends genres. Like, to me, the best bands nowadays, especially in the metal area, is when they blend all types of metal genres or other genres, because if you're only very specific, like they have these genres that are so stupidly specific
Yeah.
that it's, the music is just formulas at that point. There's like no uniqueness about it. So it does, they used to say when in the 80s that it all sounded the same, but it didn't. Now, the people I argued with about that, I'm like, yeah, you're right. It does kind of sound all the same. The ones now, not then. But then bands like you don't, because you are bringing other influences in, and it's not just, oh, we can only do this type of metal,
Right. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your creative process and how things work with the band on blending these genres and bringing everything together to make Horror Scene.
I mean, our process is pretty easy. For the most part, like somebody will come up with a guitar riff, and everybody will just kind of work off of that. And sometimes like we'll come up with a chorus, a pre-chorus, get the verse down. And then sometimes while we're putting things together, like, hey, what we played here in the verse is cool, but it doesn't really fit this. Let's pull that out, but we can use that somewhere else. And that's pretty much how that all works. Like, we'll just blend it all together, and then, using the keys and synth and that techno and dance stuff that we throw in there. It's just fun, like meshing everything together.
I like the keyword fun, because if you're a musician and you're not having fun, this is the wrong industry, because a lot of it is a bunch of shit. So if you're not having fun in the creative process,
right,
where are you having fun?
Absolutely.
So I love that.
Yeah.
What was that moment in time that you thought to yourself, this is what I need to do? Like, what was that one thing that hooked you in when you were young?
Music in general. Growing up, my parents listening to, Billy Joel and Elton John, bands like that. And like I was always fascinated with how music just came together. So, as a young kid, I started out playing violin, then I went to trombone, and then I turned to drums, and I haven't moved back since. So yeah, I mean, for me, I mean, that aha moment, if you will, I was started at a very, very young age. It's just the whole creative process behind it is what really lashed me onto it.
I love hearing that you went from trombone to drums. And I say that because, like I was in school band, school orchestra. I played drums for 10 years. So I was in the percussion of the orchestra, and I played everything in percussion. And then I used to look over at the other kids that were playing trumpet and trombone. I'm like, I might want to try that. That looks pretty cool. So it's kind of cool that you went the other way.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's oddly enough though, when I went to trombone, I forget what grade that was. I want to say 6th or 7th grade, when we were allowed to like pick an instrument. I initially wanted to start out on drums, but the music teacher that we had at the time was like, I have too many drummers. Here, why don't you try trombone? So it wasn't even like anything I even wanted to do.
Sometimes that's how, you find your path though, right?
Oh, for sure. I will say one thing though. Going to a brass instrument like the trombone, like my favorite clef out of bass and treble is bass. I love bass clef. All the low end stuff. Yeah.
Nice. And it's funny because I think I've changed throughout the years, because I've always been like when I'd listen to music younger, I would like put the treble up to the max, and I didn't care as much about the bass as the treble. And now I'm kind of like, no, I like it more balanced now. And I've even, it's funny. I go and I do, radio coverage at music festivals all over the US, UK, Europe, and I never wear earplugs. Like, I don't like them. I don't want, and I think it makes the music worse. And I've stood up against Motorhead's speakers.
Nice.
With my ear up to it, and like I still hear pretty well, so I'm okay at this point. But there was one festival, I can't remember what it was, but one band, I've like thousands and thousands of sets I've been to, that the treble actually hurt my ears. I was up in the photo pit, and they had that treble so high that I literally like my ears were in pain, and that never happens to me. Like I could be up there in the photo pit or anywhere close. I could stand right next to a speaker. It doesn't bother me at all. But
Yeah.
so maybe that is a thing that like maybe over time your ears get more sensitive to the treble than the bass. Because I don't think the bass really affects your ears the same way a treble does.
No, probably not. Because I mean, treble, that's all your high end, like all the high end stuff. And at least, mids and bass, that's all, obviously your lower end things. But yeah, I just always, like I said, doing trombone, I just always loved the bass clef after that. Because for me, like, I like to feel everything.
Yeah.
So,
Totally.
like, especially if bands use like 808 drops. I love that. I love all of that. Like, especially if it's timed right, like if they hit like a floor tom or something at the same time in 808 drops. I love how that meshes up.
Well, it's funny you should say that because I was with a concert during the summer that I brought my brother, and all he was complaining the whole time is because the bass was like beating in his chest, and I had the exact opposite feeling. I'm like, man, I love it. It feels good. It feels like I'm part of the music,
How about it? Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So, what was it that made you turn to, a lot of us metalheads are into horror and stuff, but what made you turn to combining those two loves into one?
So when this band first started, we were actually operating under a different name when this band first started. We were called Suicide Puppets. Up until recently, I want to say about 4 or 5 months ago, did we do a whole rebrand to Horror Scene. Now, even under Suicide Puppets, everything was still horror related. Murder, killing, death, fun stuff like that. As far as our lyrics go, it's just one of those things. Like us as a band, it just made sense. Like we all loved horror, we all loved metal, we all loved industrial metal, and we just kind of like smashed everything together. Be like, this is who we're gonna be because this is everything that we love.
I love it. And it's so funny you said what you did because before you, I did my live show, and then before that, I did another interview, and that band did a whole rebranding. So today's the day of rebranding. But listen, the most successful rebranding of all time was Black Sabbath. They were originally Earth, and then like, could you imagine if they were still called Earth? I don't think they would be as relevant today. Nobody would care.
Probably not. Yeah, I mean, well, the rebrand was almost out of necessity as well. 'Cause
Yeah.
with Suicide in our band name, we were getting smashed in algorithms. Google wouldn't even let us advertise anymore, so we had to do a rebrand. But
Wow.
you're right. I think this name fits us a little bit better. Plus, we have like, I think there's 8 films right now that are two of them are out, but the other 6 are in post production that features our music, and they're all horror films, so it works out.
So I think what we need in 2026 or 2027 is a tour of Zombie, Ice Nine Kills, and you guys.
I am 1000% on board with that idea.
Right? Right? Oh, man. But I do love, like I said in the beginning, having it combined. Like people that are haters on that. Like I'm old school from the 80s, so a lot of my old school metalhead friends are like, I hate the band's putting a mess today. It's stupid. And I'm like, no, I think it's kind of cool, man. It just makes for a better show. And I've even thought about myself, okay? So I thought about myself because I've interviewed a bunch of people that wear masks or makeup, and then when I see them without it, I'm like, oh, well, that's why you do that. So I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm 59 years old. I could wear a mask, start a band, and just get really big like Sleep Token and take my mask off and say, haha, fuckers, I'm 60 years old.
That's the beauty behind it, though. Like, like you said, like when we started out, we didn't do any of the face paint and all that other stuff, and of course, like sometimes when we run ads, like recently, we were running an ad because we dropped a single back on January 2nd, a song called "Yeah You," and we had run an ad for it because our song previous to that, "Welcome to Your Hell," reached number 16 on the Metal Contraband Top 50 Metal charts. So we were kind of promoting to it at one shot. Said, hey, you know, chart climbing metal band, whatever. I forget how it was worded at this point. And it was sent out there, and like you should have seen the hate comments, like, "Oh, gimmicky band, it's already been done," blah blah blah. It's like I never understood that. Like, if you don't like something, that's fine, but like, what really compels you to like just throw so much hate? You know what I mean?
Yeah, listen. Most of my show today, my live show, was about how ridiculous people are being with the Bad Bunny thing at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Set aside the politics or any of that shit. Like, what do you care? Then tune out. Don't watch the 15 minutes of the halftime show. Like, there's plenty of halftime shows that I didn't want to watch. I don't care. It didn't bother me enough to throw hate. You know, it's like, so what? Switch to something else. You know, they had all these alternatives, so go watch that alternative. Who cares?
Yeah.
You know, but like, I don't know why it's such a big deal. Like, it's stupid that everything's getting to be such a big deal, and music should be such a big deal. My other peeve is like where they say people that are musicians shouldn't have a voice. It's the exact opposite, morons. That's just what I'm going to say. Like, of course they should have a voice. They are also people that can exercise freedom of speech. And if they want to speak their mind about things, that's their prerogative. All music since the beginning of time that wasn't pop music did that, you know?
Yeah.
Like, rock has always done that, you know, spoke up about things, you know? You don't have to agree with it. Don't listen. You don't like it.
Yeah.
To your point, I don't get why people waste their breath with hate. Like, if you hate it, I'm cool. Keep it to yourself.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Right. You know,
what are you going to do? You know,
but I think no matter what you do, you're going to get it. I see it with the festivals too. We went for 2 years with no live music.
Right.
Festivals came back. I'm like, oh man, this is going to be great because all those people that were bitching all the time won't be bitching anymore because they just realize what it's like to not have live music.
Yeah.
They're still bitching. Like, it just blows my mind. What I love the ones that when they're going to a festival and one band drops out for whatever reason, they're like, oh, that's the only reason I was going to a festival. Well, that's a stupid idea. Go to their concert then. I go to festivals to discover new music. Like, they don't play their regular set at a festival. If you're only going for one band, go to their concert. You'll be better off.
Yeah, how about, and that's an expensive ticket for one band if you think about it, you know what I mean?
No doubt. And like, why would you miss other bands? How would you know about the one band you're going to see if you didn't see them for the first time?
Yeah,
like some of my favorite bands, I didn't know who they were. And that's the way it was in the 80s too. Like, that's where stuff like what you're doing with all the entertainment performance part of it, it's like, listen, we couldn't hear music before we bought it. So we went by the album cover.
Yeah.
And gigs. I remember the first club gig I ever went to. My dad moved me from New Jersey to LA in 1980, if you can imagine a time to move to LA. Okay. Yeah. And so I saw this ad for this band playing at the Roxy on the Sunset Strip. I had never been to a club show ever. And I went just because of the way they looked. Now, this was before they ever had an album. So they were kind of like horror punk at the time. And that was Motley Crue.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, I remember going to that show. I'm like, I'm never going to a real concert again. Because to me, it equated the real concerts were boring. This was exciting. There was a lot of stuff going on and a lot of performance and all that, you know. And then the second club show I ever did, similar type of scenario. I saw this ad in Bam magazine, and the headliner, their picture was there, and it was Wasp. It was Wasp, okay. Armored Saint, and this band Headshaker. I mean, to this day, I'm friends with the bands from Armored Saint but I mean, that just totally turned me those things totally turned me into a metalhead. Like I liked metal before that,
Yeah.
but those live experiences like you produce are what got me into it. There's one band that plays at festivals all the press people make fun of because they only just stand there and play, and we all call them the most boring band live ever. And if that's what I experience, a band like that, maybe I wouldn't be a metalhead today.
Yeah, exactly.
It's supposed to be like a show.
Yeah, it's even as a musician, dude, if you're up there just standing around like and you look bored, it's like, are you even enjoying what you're doing? Like
Right?
when I'm behind the kit, I'm moving around, flinging things around and I'm having fun, and it should be fun.
And you know what? A lot of people throw hate towards Lars, and he always looks like he's having fun. So okay, and he was right about Napster. So
Oh yeah.
everybody gave him hate for that. So I'd
No
say
doubt.
just let people be people, express themselves. That's what being an artist is expressing yourself the way you want to express, and you'll collect your tribe. The people
Yeah,
that like
totally.
it. Again, I don't get wasting time. You don't like something, listen to something else. Period. Watch something else. Okay. So what else do you have on the horizon here for 2026?
Well, we have more releases coming out. So we started working with a notable producer named Dan Mausch. Dan Mausch has produced bands like Ghost, Gojira, Avenged Sevenfold, Dorpesh, small little metal bands. And he started working with us last year. So we're going back up to his studio at the end of March, so next month. And we actually have another single dropping the same time that we're going into the studio. We're trying to get things geared up. More than likely, either an EP or an LP is going to be dropping this year. We are currently working on a tour for the month of around August timeframe is what we're looking at. So we do have a festival coming up in March. That's March. I think it's March 6th or March 9th. It's Inked and Loud at the York Fairgrounds in York, Pennsylvania. And I think as of right now, that's kind of where we're sitting on things. But we are doing a lot of writing and whatnot. So there's a lot of other things like moving parts going on behind the scenes. So yeah, but I mean, there's a lot coming this year for sure.
So here's what I want to know too, that I think I already know the answer. Okay, so when you put on the makeup and get all dressed up for your live show, is it almost like you go into a transformation and become the musician? It's kind of like me. Like as soon as the mic turns on, there's a switch in my head that radio personality comes out. Like automatically. I don't even think about it. Do you think that's the case when you're like in those costumes, in the makeup, like you transform and like kind of be that entity, so to speak?
I would say yes, yeah, because we all have different stage names. Like mine's Veritas, our drummer, or our drummer. I am the drummer. Our lead singer, he goes by Twisty. Our bass player goes by Johnny. We have 3 guitar players, Steven, Invictus, and Z. So we all have stage names. So yeah, absolutely. As soon as like the makeup goes on and whatnot, like we become that persona. We embody who that individual is. Another good point about putting on makeup and whatnot is like if you're like especially when it comes to local shows, like if we're standing around, even if we're not next to each other, that we are together as a band.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
So that's another reason why we do the makeup. But yeah, 100%. Yeah, we definitely become our personas once the makeup comes on.
Well, it's like me. My radio moniker persona is Pipeman, and there is a different persona to it. Like part of it is real me, and part of it is the alter ego me. But it is so funny that even my kids sometimes now will call me Pipeman, and then Alexa calls me Pipeman all the time. So that's always funny.
Nice.
But how do people reach out to you, on socials, on the web, buy your merch, all that good stuff?
So your best bet is just go to our link tree, which is Horsine Band, I believe. You can go to our .com, which is horsineband.com, which that'll be your gateway to everywhere: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Spotify. Our merch site is a different site, but you can still get there from our main band page. So puppetmerch.com is where you can purchase all of your horror scene gear. We recently just got new hoodies in, which is kind of cool. Unfortunately, I don't have any with me to show you, but it's basically just has the logo on the front of the hoodie. It's pretty cool.
Nice. I bet you have some badass merch, and people can't listen to my show anymore unless they buy your merch. Well, people don't realize
interesting items, to say the least. Some of them my wife came up with. We have these little voodoo dolls that come with their own pins and needles and stuff. We have something that's called the Serial Killer Archives, which is a box that's filled with that kinetic sand stuff. And inside the kinetic sand, we have these USB. I actually have one here. Unfortunately, I don't have the bottom on it, but we have these USBs that look like coffins.
Oh wow, that's cool.
It has the old band name on it, but it's got 2 full albums on it. But when you open up the box, there's a shovel in there and a headstone. You have to dig the USB out of the dirt.
That's creativity. That brings me back, because I think it's stuff like that kids are missing out nowadays with albums, you know, because I remember being a kid and buying Love Gun. And that was when the popper things in school were very popular. You would make these paper popper things.
Yeah.
And so they made Kiss made a Love Gun that was one of those poppers, but it was the Kiss Love Gun. And, of course, you could get in trouble in school because you were using it in school. And, but I used to love, I'd buy albums and there would be gifts in there sometimes, or I got really into the Beatles because of the 1969 radio show that Paul McCartney was dead, and you had to buy all the albums to get the clues. So I bought every Beatles album to check out the clues and play the album backwards and all that stuff. Kids don't get to do that cool stuff anymore,
How about it? Well,
Right?
I even remember when I was a kid in the 90s, when CDs became a thing. Half the fun was buying the CD of your favorite band or whatever, and then there would be hidden tracks on it.
Yeah, totally. Or that when Motley Crue came out with the first album, there were only I think there were only 30 copies of the original, which had a real zipper on the cover, a real working zipper. You see it in the picture now, but actually, and it was wow, that's so cool to have that, and
Yeah, absolutely.
I remember one of Tool's CDs had a magnifying glass. It had it was, I forget which album, but it was black. I still have it. Black, folds over, and it had a little magnifying glass in the CD cover.
Huh.
It was wild. So I think we need to go back to that. It's kind of like if you had Happy Meals at McDonald's without toys. It's not as much fun.
Yeah. And it's weird though too, because even when this band first started, we still would have physical copies of things. But now when we buy physical copies of things, we buy way less now, because with all the digital age that we're in, everybody just goes, they'll stream it right away, or I'll just get it off of iTunes, this, that, or the other. But we did vinyl recently for our last EP, 2 EPs ago, Beyond the Veil. And we sold quite a bit because there's a big resurgence in vinyl, which is kind of cool. But we're still sitting on media, just sitting on it. Nobody buys physical. It's hard, man.
Yeah, it is. And what's interesting about vinyl now, I just found this out recently. I was taking my granddaughter to get a holiday gift, and she wanted a record album. 2 of my grandkids are total record collectors. So I think that's so cool. And I remember looking at the price, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? It was $36 for an album.
Yeah.
I still have albums that still have the price tag on them at home at say $2.99 for something. I have an album by Death that was $2.99. I've exploited albums that were $2 and $3, stuff like that. I think I have a Bathory album that was 99 cents.
Yeah.
Like,
you're not finding that anymore.
right? Exactly. And I bought them because, listen, you couldn't hear what it sounded like. It was like, okay, for 99 cents, for $2, I don't give a crap if I don't like it, and the album looks cool.
You're right.
Like,
Yeah.
would you do that today? Would a kid go buy a $30 album with not knowing what it sounded like? I don't even know how they go to gigs today, to be honest. Like, I went to see Metallica where I paid $2 for a ticket and $5 for a shirt. Like, I don't know how kids can even go to a show today.
Yeah, I mean, ticket prices are pretty high. Yeah, and merch nowadays. I mean,
I'm all for the merch though, because it's the only way you guys make money. Like, I think a lot of people don't realize that. So I make a big deal about it. I was joking about not listening, but I wasn't really either, because it's like, it's the only way you guys make money. The days of the rock star getting these massive amounts of money and drugs is totally over. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, you guys have to work your ass off. Okay. And I just think, you guys deserve to make a living. You're working hard. And when people say, oh, they should just blah, blah, do you work for free is what I say to them. Like, it is what you need to make a living. So support bands, buy their merch, especially horror scene. Because again, can't listen to my show unless you buy their merch, and they probably have cool ass merch that you're going to love forever. So just get it.
That's right. We have coffin keychains too. I mean, who doesn't want a coffin keychain?
Exactly. That's beautiful. I love it. Well, thanks a lot for giving us great music, and thanks for being on the Adventures of Pipeman.
Awesome. Appreciate you having me on. It's been fun.
My pleasure. A lot of fun.
Thank you for listening to the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.